Jackie, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Really good. Finally, we get you on the show. I know Power Slap number 6 was a whirlwind for you. You're working a
Yeah.
day job, getting ready to prep for it. I know you didn't have a full camp or anything, kind of short notice. But looking back over the entire experience, how do you feel that Power Slap took you in the week leading into the fight and all the hype that surrounded this co-main event?
I mean, I felt like the week was really smooth. It was completely different than like fight week. Fight week is like stressful, you're cutting weight, like nobody wants to talk to each other. Everybody is like, it's just
Mhm.
it was totally different. The atmosphere was different, I got along with everybody. Even, Sheena was super nice. We did some stuff. We went on the news and we did all kinds of things. So it was fun, and it was a really cool experience. So I'm glad that I did it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we've got to talk about it. The event itself. How awesome
Yeah.
was it that at the Durango, they call your name as part of that co-main event? At that point, the place was electric. You probably didn't know, but you had the likes of Tom Brady. I'm sure you've seen the reaction of Travis Scott since,
Yeah, I
of your
did.
slap. How did it feel to get up on that stage? I know you have MMA experience, as you said. You fought at a very high, professional level. How did it feel to actually get up there in that environment compared to some of your other matches that you've had in MMA?
Honestly, it felt the same. Because I've competed for so long, and I hate to say this, like I really zone everything else out. Like I didn't hear
Hmm.
anybody in the crowd, and my parents were in the crowd, and I usually hear my dad, and I did not hear him. So it was
Okay.
like I totally tuned everything out. I, got up there, and it was
Hmm.
just, you know, time to do my job.
Absolutely. Obviously Sheena's kind of a pioneer of the sport. Every match we've seen, she's been involved in up until this point. So you're getting ready to go up against her. You've got the first slap. Let's talk through the psychology that kind of went into it.
Um, I honestly, when I learned that I won the coin toss, I didn't really know how to feel. Obviously, it's my first time doing it, like
Hmm.
I didn't really know what to expect in any part of the entire event and leading into it. So when I got up there, I was like, I guess I'm just gonna wing it because I literally had 3 weeks notice, and
Hmm.
I didn't really get a lot of training. I got a lot of tips from, from Manny and a couple of the other guys. Um, but to be honest, like I just had no idea.
Hmm.
I didn't even know how to stand in the box, like nothing. So,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was definitely a unique experience for sure.
Hmm. Well, let's talk about the strike itself. I mean, I haven't heard you publicly come out and say what your thoughts and your feelings were around it.
Um, Looking back, and I rewatched it over and over because they did DQ me for clubbing.
Hmm.
Um, and I also reached out to like the guys that have been around and done it the entire time.
Hmm.
Even the commentators. Like I went back and listened to what they were saying. Nowhere in any conversation with anybody that's done it, looking back at the video, listening to the commentation, do I think that I was DQ'd for that I should have been DQ'd for clubbing. I think the slap was picture perfect. And did I move my feet? Yeah. If they would have DQ'd me for moving my feet, I probably wouldn't have been so upset. But I honestly don't think that I clubbed her. And I even talked to Frank because I was like, hey, why is this a clubbing DQ? And he said that it was clubbing. And I said, is it because I didn't follow through on the slap? Like a lot of the guys, they like follow
Hmm.
through with the slap. And I
Yeah.
didn't because I know that like I want the slap to stop where I want it to stop, like I want that energy to
Hmm.
go into her. And he said
Hmm.
it's not a rule that you have to follow through. So honestly, after him telling me that and watching the video and talking to everybody, I still don't think that I should have been DQ'd for clubbing. DQ'd for moving my feet, stepping, lifting my heels, absolutely,
Hmm.
but not for clubbing.
Hmm. It was only the second time we've ever seen it. Russell Rivera against AJ Hinch in a title match in light heavyweight. He stormed off the stage after being disqualified. The same thing happened to you. Where did you go?
I just left. I was so the ref whispered in my ear. She was still on the
Yeah.
ground. The
Hmm.
ref whispered in my ear. He said that's gonna be a DQ before they ever
Hmm.
even looked at the video.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was like, I just knocked out this viral TikTok sensation, this person that they're pumping up that's the best slapper in the world. I knock her out in the very first slap and they're gonna fucking DQ me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was so pissed. So I walked off stage. I went all the way back to the doctor. And then somebody came
Yeah.
back there and was like, "Oh, they're reviewing the video, come back in." I
Yeah.
actually came all the way back in.
Mm-hmm.
They called the DQ. I stayed in there. I waited for her to get her hand raised. She came down off of the, off the podium, and I gave her a hug.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back to the doctor. Like, people are like upset that I went off stage and I like what it was unsportsman, but they didn't see all the behind the scenes stuff. And I actually reached out to her the next day to see how
Mm-hmm.
she was doing, because I don't ever want to win by DQ, or by doing something illegal or wrong. Or do I think that I did? No, but that's what it was called. So I reached out to her just to see how she was doing, and she was a
Mm-hmm.
total bitch. So,
Oh, really?
like, yeah, yeah, and
Interesting.
and
Okay.
and I was
Interesting.
honestly surprised that she was, because I was
Mm-hmm.
genuinely reaching out to see if she was okay.
Mm-hmm.
She was knocked out, regardless if there was a DQ. She was knocked out, and it was one of the most brutal knockouts that they have seen. So
Absolutely.
obviously, I don't want her to have any type of injury or be hurt in a
Mm-hmm.
competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out to her, but she was a bitch. So it was whatever. Now it's
Interesting.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that side of her, so interesting to hear that. That the revelation, and it's too bad. I mean, we've obviously, you don't always have to be friends, but after
Yeah.
the match, it's definitely good to show, sportsmanship, and obviously people have to go back to their day jobs and still have a life and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yep.
Overall, I mean, I don't want to. Do you still feel like you have unfinished business with Power Slap? Like, are we going to see you again?
Um, I mean, I liked it. I liked the atmosphere. I liked the people. I liked doing the whole week. If they want me to come back, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it again. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously, I'll have to train for it. A little bit
Yeah.
more than 3 weeks notice, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you didn't get slapped. Do you think is that something? Is there a part of you that still wants to feel that?
I think so. I think
Mm-hmm.
if I could win the fucking coin toss every time and smack first and knock everybody out,
Yes,
like, great,
of
never
course.
take any damage, that would be
Yeah.
ideal. But realistically, if I do it, however many times, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to take a slap. And honestly, I'm not really concerned in that area, because if
Mm-hmm.
I can take a punch on the button, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that a slap is gonna knock me out from any girl.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited. If they bring me back, they bring me back. You know.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I certainly think there is that potential to have you back. You're seeing, right now the potential growth that Power Slap can give for you, as an athlete. Last I looked, your social media over doubled what it was pre Power Slap.
I think triple
Um,
maybe.
Tripled now? Okay, it's going even higher.
Yeah.
Travis Scott reacting to your slap being picked up by all the major rap magazines, by Barstool Sports, by a lot of these large, you're getting hundreds of millions of views now.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that pretty cool when you think about it?
It is cool. And honestly, I even, like, before all this started, I was like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be famous. I don't want to, like, be noticed, or like, and I even,
Mm-hmm.
like, after the whole event, like, people would come up to me while I was still in Vegas and, like, ask for my autograph. And I was like, oh God, I got to get out of here. Because I'm not the type of person that's
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing this to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this because I want to fight. I want to go to the UFC. I want to, be able to provide for my kids, which I do because I have a good day job. But
Mm-hmm.
UFC is different kind of money. Like, I don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day and go to a
Of
regular
course.
job if I'm successful at doing that. So, obviously having
Mm-hmm.
eyeballs on me, and people knowing who I am and recognizing me and posting me, and obviously this generation of social
Mm-hmm.
media that's the way that it is. So, I kind
Yeah.
of just got to jump on the bandwagon, I guess.
Yeah. Absolutely. But I appreciate you joining me, getting caught up of your thoughts. We really hope that we see you back in Power Slap. We hope you're still training, that you're getting ready. So when that call comes from Erica or Frank, that you're able to answer the bell, and we'll see you back there again soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.